Yeah, McGuire, we're gonna get started.
We're recording.
For 6:30, I'm impressed. And I'm wrong. I'm in error.
I'm gonna start.
At 6:30, I phone.
Okay, I call this regular meeting of the Lavaca City Council to order at this time on Monday, August 12th, 2024 at 6:30 PM. I ask everyone to please rise for the invocation. Okay. Councilman Ward, would you deliver an invocation for us?
Will, let's pray. Father, we just come before you with humble hearts. Lord, you know the situation in this country. You know, we've drifted away from your guidance and direction. Lord, I just pray that you pour out your blessings and your guidance and direction to our members of Congress in Washington, Austin, and locally, and also, Father, in the state, various state legislatures. Pray, Lord, that the guidance and direction will be from you. Lord, I just pray that you protect this nation from those that might seek to undermine it. Pray for our military. Pray for wisdom and decision-making, that what we do will be in accordance with your will and under the guidance and direction of your Holy Spirit. And we thank you for all the blessings that you've extended to this nation. And we pray it all, Father, in Jesus Christ's name and for his sake. And we give you the praise and honor and glory, Father. We thank you for hearing our prayer. Amen.
Please join me in the pledges of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag, honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and. It should be divisible. Hey, let's start there. I believe we have any presentations today. I was glad to see several council members, a couple of council members at the Purple Heart ceremony that we had on Wednesday of last week. It was very nice. We did a proclamation for that. Excellent. And that brings us to comments from the public. We have one person here signed up to make comments, Phyllis Boone. She's been with us before. Phyllis, you want to make a comment before council? You want to step forward or do it from your seat? You can do it now. You can do it from there if you want. They can hear you, I'm sure.
He's done. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I better come to the point. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. Thank you.
Okay, I have one comment. It was about when we thought the hurricane was coming through here. Oh, I wasn't too ready for that. You know, because I kept calling, it was some guy on my phone. But I kept calling him, and every time I called him, he said, okay, we're having a meeting. Okay, we're having a meeting. We're gonna let you know. So Lavaca must not be ready for a hurricane. Do we have anything way to let us know that it's a hurricane, or y'all don't know? Any response?
Well, public comments were not supposed to respond.
Oh, okay.
You tell us what you want.
With the mayor or the city manager after the meeting.
Okay,
And the county judge can help.
but I was just wondering about this. Okay, well, this county here, but I was just wondering that. Or do we just play by ear and we all just run on?
I can tell her factually, a factual matter is there is a notification system you can sign up.
I think I
for.
got that on my phone.
So some of that was sent out.
I didn't get that on my phone, it was sent out. You know, but everywhere I went, somebody else had it on their phone, they say, Oh, exactly, I think down there in, the bay, I mean, yeah, the bay, down there on the bay. And I thought about, well, what about us in Port Lavaca? You know, the people that's handicapped and live down, live by themselves. They just stranded here. And I think I have went through Port Lavaca and talked to a lot of people, and everybody give me the impression, okay, we don't know, you just got to defend for yourself, sister.
I'm sure the city manager, when she gets
Yeah,
back.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
We'll bring you down here and we'll introduce you to our state emergency management coordinator that works here at City Hall. And we'll let you get your name down and help us collect the citizens that you're talking about that need help. And be ready next time.
For me, I need the help.
We know that, but we want you to help us too and identify the others that need it. I know you know them.
But I can't do that. But I'm just saying, we need to be ready, not getting ready. We need to be ready when this stuff happens.
We'll give you a
Don't
tour.
be scattered like grass, it's in his back. Okay, somebody else pick up that piece of grass. We need to be on top of this stuff because we live inside the water.
We'll bring you down and show you people in charge and the process and I'll show you what went on during Barrel too.
Okay.
But we can't discuss it in detail here, but I can help you out later.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate y'all just listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Phyllis is the one, she missed our workshop on the water rates, so,
Y'all missed that.
yeah. I spoke up for you.
I'm thankful.
We're trying to keep the rates down. It's not gonna be easy. All right, I believe that's all for comments to the public. Anyone else? Seeing none here, we will move on to our consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the July 9th, 2024 special meeting. The July 8th regular meeting was canceled because of Storm Barrel, so that was tentatively our regular meeting. No, we can't call it that. The minutes of the July 29th, 2024 workshop, review of the credit card statement, receiving monthly financial highlight report, and receiving certification of additional sales and use tax paid debt service.
I move we accept these listed.
Second. We have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed, motion passes. That brings us to our regular action items. And we are going to skip 1 through 4 at this time because we have some people here to speak. And 1 through 4 may take a few minutes, and we want these speakers that are on limited schedule to have time to talk to us. We'll begin with agenda item number 5, receive update report from the Victoria Economic Development Corporation. Presenter Jonas Titus.
Good job.
So Jody asked me if you didn't to introduce Jonas, if none of y'all know him. He is the president and CEO of the Victoria Economic Development Corporation that we are a member of by our interlocal agreement with the county. He's been there a while and we have been working with him a while, and he's really great to work with. I would say that.
Thank you so much, Emery. Greatly appreciate that. And I did pass out my business card. I did see Mr. Ward last week at the Rotary lunch. He said that I hadn't been good in informing what all was going on, and I apologize for that. And I do encourage any and all of you to please reach out at your leisure. And I need to be better about being down here, being a regular presence, giving you folks an update. We do have dedicated staff now with Diane Dressel. Diane, you'll stand up. That is our liaison, working directly with Jody, and is in regular city staff meetings and keeping her abreast and working towards your wants and wishes to continue to make Port Lavaca a better place. I do only have 10 minutes, but I want to really stress that there are some phenomenal, really exciting things happening in and around Port Lavaca, and I'll get into kind of an overview of some of the active things that we are working on. So first and foremost, just we always like to start with our mission. So anything and everything that we can do to help create and retain jobs in and around the greater, Victoria, Golden Crescent region. We did also last year formally change our name, and we did a brand new logo reveal. You'll see it in the bottom right corner. So we are no longer Victoria Economic Development Corporation. We are VEDC Regional Partnership. So we're trying to maintain some of our brand identity, but also be synonymous of working with a broader region. This past year, our vice president was awarded one of the top 50 economic developers in all of North America, Sharon Bernard. And then also our organization, together with Calhoun County, was awarded the state championship for economic development, one of the highest annual awards that the Economic Development Corporation statewide gives annually. So our staff was recognized inside, as were some of our projects. County commissioners were able to go to the annual meeting in Houston and receive that award, and understand that it's hanging in the commissioner's court judge's office. So very proud of our not only our staff, but also our work was recognized, and that's things that are happening around Portland. Some active projects that we have ongoing. This is a big one, and we've been working for almost a year now. It's potential for a $5 billion project and 1,500 jobs. Looking right across the water, the bay from Port Lavaca. We do understand that we're one of the final 3 sites, and this project has gotten the eyes of the governor. The governor has met with them privately. We've got photos from that, and during his recent trip to Asia. The next slide, and we've had great opportunity to have them here for a multitude of site visits. You see County Judge there in the bottom left corner presenting a gift at their most recent visit. And then here's an example of what they could potentially build here. So electric arc furnace steel processing facility. Slide. This bottom one here is another potential mega project that we're calling Glacier.
Who are we competing against, do you know?
We're the only Texas site. So the other 2 sites, to the best of our knowledge, we wrote down the tail number and tracked where they were coming from and where they were going on their airplane. And it looks like Mobile and Baton Rouge.
It's all close. Sort of.
So that mega project Glacier, that could be about 600 jobs in a $10 billion project. This is, go back one more. This is a project looking in the, this Seadrift side of the county. This is a project we're calling Soul. Could be a $2 billion project, and we understand that they just had a recent site visit, and then I have a good relationship with somebody on their site selection team and was able to meet with him. Sometimes he lets me know what they're thinking, which I happily write down. I've jokingly referred to him as our mole, but that project continues to advance, and we're excited to see where this one continues to go. Slide. There's another Dallas service provider, about a $60 million project. They've met with county commissioners a couple times. We are anticipating a tax abatement application for the first phase of that project. There's a green energy project, also looking at the former Alcoa site. We don't have jobs and investment numbers on that, but there's a lot of these green energy projects which are in response to some federal legislation, and some of them do incorporate some renewable energy components, but ultimately they're trying to make chemicals in a way that does not create carbon dioxide. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't use a lot of natural resources. They are heavy users of electricity and water. But it's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing, and it's also kind of like a take your medicine thing to get what you want, because the next generation of chemical plants do have really high taxable values and create a good number of jobs. So they are very, very nice projects. But there are some other things with them that create some challenges and also some things that we're not always all that excited about. But at the end of the day, some of these all the pieces come together and they can be nice projects. Project Chow is another one that's looking on the Seadrift side of the county. And this would be a chemical project. We anticipate about 150 jobs. Linus Rare Earths. This is one that was announced last year. Got a good update on it. This one is continuing to advance and greatly appreciate Anne Marie's assistance in getting this one to the finish line, but they're waiting until they relocate their corporate team here from Australia to formally submit their incentive applications and but they've had great dialogue and support from county commissioners. Slide. We also had, were able to play a role in sponsoring a social with the Calhoun County Commissioners and Dr. Petticord from Texas A&M and the Director General of the Nuclear Energy Agency and a commissioner from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and a congressional appointed expert from Washington. And they are working to make sure that the Dow X Energy projects gets satisfactorily over the finish line. So this, at this event, they said that they have every resource at their disposal is dedicated to making sure that this project is a success. And when this project is ultimately a success, it's going to be, it's a demonstration project that has the potential to be replicated worldwide. So the eyes of the world are in Port Lavaca and Calhoun County, and this is really, really cutting edge stuff that a lot of folks are taking notice to, and it's really excited to be happening right here.
They're still looking at the 3-year permitting process.
2029, if everything goes swimming. So nuclear, they're very careful with.
Can't speed it up. That is on the fast track.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want 10 or 20 years.
Yes. Photo from that. Another active project that we've been working for a while that you all have participated in some of the site visits for is a potential up to a $3 billion project and over 800 jobs is Project Nemo. This one is still advancing. This one's kind of taken a little bit of a back seat, not for their lack of interest, but their landlord is getting so much interest across the bay that they are making sure that how they can configure all of the interested parties and have real estate looked over. So continue to be very excited for this one. Here's some photos from some of the site visits across the way at the former Alcoa site. Skip that one. Keep going. Sorry, I pulled all these together, but here is, I also wanted to add up the potential cumulative impact of all. So they're not all going to land, but more than a couple of them are, and 2 of them have already announced. So here are our active project portfolio for Calhoun County, and you're looking at almost 4,000 jobs and over almost $27 billion of capital investment. We are on the precipice of something truly extraordinary and exciting. And it's going to really, really, in a very positive way, change the dynamic of this community. And then we'll get a lot of more momentum for some of the things that we're also concurrently working on, residential demand and retail inquiries. So we're making headroads toward that, but we're also helping at the back end, creating much more stronger market conditions to support that. And we also are really strong in our retention and expansion activities. So we're working closely with Max Midstream as they are continuing to support the expansion of the Calhoun Port Authority. And we were able to join a event that Formosa hosted as part of the governor's mission, and got to see Jack Wu sitting next to the governor and more or less calling the shots and really setting the agenda for a dinner discussion. It's very impressive to witness. Some of the administrative things that we're working on, with that mega project Glacier and the first project I talked about, WGS, they are going to be applying for the new school tax abatement program created in the last legislative session. There'll be 2 of the first applicants of that program. So we're working through them and Evan and the school district commissioners to get that one, making sure they're aware of how the program functions and the application process. Continuing to work with a lot of housing developers and learn more about tools. I know we spoke with you all this past year and submitted a draft of a program. We've done a lot of homework in the time in between, and we want to meet with the Economic Development Committee and also come back to you all and continue to engage that conversation, because we've been able to get a lot more data behind and our support and discussion that we can lead to support you all. Talking about also working with Jody and Diane on a film-friendly designation that we definitely want to have an opportunity to tell you more about. Working with Jody, we also found out that we were kind of lacking in some of the data and some of the tools that we had to really show that Port Lavaca was an attractive place to do business. So we purchased a license to some new software, and these licenses are not cheap, but it's a great tool and a great asset that we have, and we're able to put together our hard numbers in front of folks looking at this region. And then also just some initiatives. Now is the time for us to really ramp up and get ready for the legislative session. We're really trying to be steadfast and aggressive to protect our water rights that we have in this part of the state, and also try and shorten some of the electric delivery timelines. The governor's talking at great length and a great excitement about it, making sure that continues to establish Texas as a leader for AI, artificial intelligence. But that is a huge consumer of electricity, and a lot of the really great legacy projects that will continue to work in this region to make the highly technologically advanced projects in such part of the state possible in the large metropolitan areas has to begin here, has to begin along the Texas Gulf Coast. This is where the ore processing is going to happen. This is where the components for batteries and what have you will be brought in through our ports. This is where some of the chemicals that will be needed will be created. So we want to make sure that we are advocating for our fair share so that we can play our role in the Texas economic miracle. We're also fully behind the deepening and widening of the Matagorda Ship Channel, and are big supporters of the improvements in the heightening of the Highway 35 bridge over the Victoria Barge Canal. Also want to tell you about some of our new memberships in VEDC that as we are truly becoming a great regional organization. Dow is now a president's level member of VEDC. Slide. Alcoa has joined at the chairman's circle level. Next slide. And then we also had JP Strickland join the board of directors representing Alcoa, and Judge Meyer has joined our executive committee on VEDC. That, I know there's a lot of information. Sorry, I shot through that very, very quickly. I was trying to be respectful for your time, but always happy to come back and provide more information, and not to provide an excuse of why I haven't been here, but I have 2 kids, less than 2 years old. So there's not that many hours of the day that we're not running around, but we're very proud of everything we're doing, and thankful to be part of it. Mr. Ward.
I like the sound of all of it, and my concern and wondering how long, as far as the housing, I noticed that was up there as one of the items. How are we, maybe Russell, I don't know, Russell can answer too. We've got all of these possible jobs, and we've got such a large percentage of our people that live somewhere else but work here. Have you been talking, you said you've been talking with contractors and people like this?
And that's also the biggest concern about the school district, to be perfectly honest, is they're cautious of entering into a tax incentive with a project and have and not seeing that great influx of students if there's not that many people that are living in the Calhoun County School District. So we really need to be a lot more aggressive about encouraging development in Port Lavaca in Calhoun County School District. This is not a unique challenge to this region. It's all of rural Texas is suffering in this, and that housing developers know it's just easier for them to put up another tract of homes in suburban San Antonio or suburban Houston than it is to take a risk in Port Lavaca, Victoria, Edna, Goliad, you name it. And so it's trying to create a comfort level with those folks that they can do a bona fide project here and make a good return on it. But it's tried and true. They do it 1,000 times a day outside of all the major markets of Texas, and they don't do it that often in this part of Texas.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Jonas, you think we'll have any commitments from any of these companies before the end of the year, before the legislature meets?
Yes.
Will we have some evidence to take them that we need some help?
Yeah, so that the big one that we have really been working hard on is that WGS, and that's the one that we're really hoping that we're able to get a good understanding of where we stand by October. And hopefully, definitely by the end of the year, their target of what they've set. And that's the one, I mean, that's one fell swoop, that's a game changer, 1,500 jobs, $5 million, happens right next door. I mean, that's a win. I mean, even if half of them don't, are commuting in, that's still a game changer.
Titus, I noticed during the presentation that there was a bunch of people around the table meeting, talking about projects coming up. I didn't see anybody from the city of Port Lavaca at that table. We're full-fledged partners
Yeah.
with the county.
Yeah.
So the projects that it will help Port Lavaca in a way. But we don't have anything inside the city limits. Now, I know the project you're talking about, it covers large swaths of land, and it'd be hard to put one of those businesses inside the city limit, but there are other businesses that would benefit Port Lavaca if you could get inside the city limits. But I guess my main concern is that we're paying half the fee and seems like all the interest is outside Port Lavaca.
Yeah, yes, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have this much interest around here. The types of projects that are looking, that we're getting traction with, are the folks that.
It would be a better thing if they had interest in Port Lavaca. We could see some development here.
Yeah, there was a letter.
It's a great thing.
And we got some feedback. There was an announcement that was made at the Port of Victoria last year. And we got Jody forwarded some email saying, well, why was it, we have a port in Port Lavaca. Why, are you steering projects to one location or another? And it couldn't be any more of an opposite story. Is when we get leads, when we get inquiries, they'll put down their list of key criteria. And we throw everything out. I wish that we were able to influence folks to go to point A over point B. Our ethos is that it's better if they stay in Port Lavaca and Calhoun County, or even Victoria County, rather than Louisiana. That we know that if there's jobs created, that creates an opportunity for the residents of Port Lavaca. And then you create those market conditions, you get more people living and working, and then you get more inquiries for retail and commercial.
I really like to see some people that, we're partners in this. I'd like to see some people around the table from that city.
But city manager and mayor have been invited to each and every one of those events and dinners and things that we have had, that we had slides and pictures of. Obviously, those are snapshots.
Maybe we could inspire some,
We were at most of it.
interest,
Yeah.
some interest
May not have been
in our.
picture, but we were at most of it.
Okay.
So I think
And I missed
one of the
Vinny.
things, one of the things you may want to touch on is this retail. I think the Economic Development Company was understanding that this new product that they've invested in is going to target more of a retail.
Yeah.
Because we're not looking for industrial
No.
within the city. But they're not, BDC and really set up for retail. That's more of a different.
So
But
we're paying for economic development in Port Lavaca. We're not paying for the county. We want to pay for what we put $25,000 in for economic development in Port Lavaca. And I'm waiting on the first project.
And that's 100% fair criticism. And we play the long game, and
Thank you.
the retail is a very competitive business, and our only shot to get the attraction and the potential to land those projects is to create more wealth, create more people working in and around Port Lavaca. That shows once the metrics hit a level for our local economy, based on the databases, that place for AI that we have, and the other tools that the folks that are looking at us are looking at. Once the numbers show that we can support something, then they will be more interested.
I do know that the more people we have here as far as tourism dollars.
Sales tax.
And when you figure, okay, sales tax from a Walmart, just as an example, there's a lot because these people are here during the day.
Yep.
And you see so many of them, you know, you go to the restaurants, not that you're getting sales tax, but they're spending money here.
Yes, and that software that we did buy does the same thing like the Buxton at Fort Lavaca used to have a license to. We're able to track their cell phone, and we're able to track the cell phones of the employees of the plants around here. So we can really see what that market is and who's coming to Fort Lavaca and how long they're staying here.
So with like the WDC project, if we get that, are we already in discussions with like tract home builders and stuff so that once that's announced, they can.
To a certain extent, yes, but they of course want to see,
But I mean, are we ready? Will we ready for that? Because we don't have housing. So we get a plant, they're just gonna live in Victoria or somewhere else.
nowhere else is any more prepared than Fort Lavaca. For an impact like that.
And speaking of developers-
We'd love to have.
But we don't have the evidence yet to show that we have a committed
Yeah.
plant coming in, but you have them ready to go. That's what I was asking earlier.
To the best that we can,
And
yes.
we can go to the
Yes.
developers and say, we have this, we have the evidence, come help us.
Yeah.
But right now, they won't look at us because their census data and the data that we have currently isn't enough to support a big residential.
Unfortunately, yes, that's true.
But you do have some stuff to present to the.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And we know who to talk to. And we'll be calling them back immediately.
And
For the
they,
period of time, we had what we called an industrial zone out on the loop. And I think it's still there. And nothing has happened, and the fact of knowing, I know at one time they were talking about a shrimp farm out there. Well, that went by the wayside, but it's just to let people know that there are some areas here in the city
Yeah.
close by that are available, to let them.
And this is a great opportunity actually upcoming, about 6 weeks, we'll be hosting the third annual Caterpillar Supplier Summit. And this is a great opportunity to showcase locations like that. Because a lot of those suppliers are not, obviously they're a lot smaller than Caterpillar. There are a lot of machine shops, there are a lot of fab shops. There are a lot of rotational molding shops. So we're doing our best to scour the region to put together a pamphlet portfolio of all the sites, industrial locations. Because some want to be near a port, some want to be near a highway, some want to be as close to the facility as possible. But they come in all shapes and sizes. So those are the types of opportunities that we really want to take fully advantage of.
But one of the things that I think is going to help is the expansion in all of the airport in Victoria, because I know that a lot of people are beginning to realize that it's so much easier to fly out of Victoria to go to Houston rather than that drive from here up to Houston, and then you're paying parking, whereas you don't pay parking over in Victoria. You go through security and all like that, and then you can connect in Houston, wherever.
Yeah. And we've actually been also showcasing the airport here for some of the private jets that are coming in. Unfortunately,
Yes.
the chairman for that WGS, they flew in a really big plane. And so they said that they needed a longer runway, but we definitely were touting the airport here as an option.
So I'm sure there's been some surveys done of traffic leaving Calhoun County, going out to Jackson, going out to Victoria County, going out to Refugio County. Of all the workers that are traveling to Calhoun County to work, I'm sure you have surveys that you can show people who may be interested in building homes here. Hey, these are potential home buyers. They have good jobs. They need to be, and they like our community because we're so close to the water. Just like Russell said on that song, if you were going home, you'd already be here. And as you drive by, I think that's a wonderful sales point. So the actual surveys of traffic leaving Calhoun County to go home after work
We have that data.
would definitely attract builders to come to Port Lavaca. Hey, there's that potential. Russell.
We have sold 6 in the lots of the Claret Crossing. The 2 different builders, and then another builder bought 3 lots. And then Eric Ho has his builders, so that's like 4 or 5 new builders coming to build houses here.
Thank you for that, Russ.
But when you consider like over 50% of the labor force lives somewhere else, that's tough.
Yeah. And they don't want to live somewhere else. They want to live close to their job.
Thank you.
Thank you for sending Diane down. It was about once a week. You meet with us and our staff and almost you're like.
I will, yeah, now that we've got more people, we've got.
You're like a staff member with us.
Hey, I kind
Y'all
of,
are here.
Colin's point though, because council, we're not informed.
Our staff person started on Monday.
Yeah, so we'll be better about that.
I don't know if that's your issue. Exactly, but
Okay.
Giannis, thank you very much for what you've done for the city. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Mr. Cox, for answering my questions.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to agenda item number 6. I think we can do this one quickly. Consider request of Our Lady of the Gulf Catholic Church Alton Society for closure of Benavides Street and leave between Leona and Austin Street for their annual fundraising Thanksgiving meal drive-through dinner on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, from 9 to 2. And Marie, anything you want to say about it before we vote?
I think we should approve that request for Our Lady of the Gulf Catholic Church.
Second.
I second it.
We'll take a motion to approve the request. And we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. None opposed,
Thank you.
motion passes.
thank you, Mr. Tippett.
I think those 2 individuals knew more than me, although I know Jody said this will be yours, no.
Yes.
All right, let's move to agenda item number 7. Consider the memorandum of understanding between the city of Port Lavaca and the county of Calhoun for combined dispatch. We'll start with Anne Marie, and then we have several other people that wish to speak.
Oh, I don't know, David, if you want to, but of course, this is about that we've all been anticipating this agreement. This is the agreement where basically beginning January 1st, sooner. Possibly sooner. As you've noticed, the new building going up next to the courthouse will be a combined dispatch. That is where the city of Port Lavaca dispatchers will be moving to as well. And this is the interlocal agreement that allows us to pay for a portion of the dispatchers in the same way we were paying our dispatchers with their benefits here. This is for a 1-year term, but their calendar year is different than ours as far as budget goes. So it's through December 31st of 2025 with annual renewals and ways to terminate the agreement. We're working on this with multiple entities in the county. And so I believe if you want to go over, like, there's 4 dispatchers here. There is, the county's got a set of dispatchers that are theirs are moving in. And the city is being asked to pay for 4 times an estimated $75,000 per year. That covers their salary, benefits. And my understanding is that will probably cover the cost for at least 2 or 3 years. Not, I mean, annually. Yeah, they don't anticipate it going up significantly in the first 2 or 3 years. So there will be, yeah. And the city is guaranteed 2 seats on the board that will govern this agency.
I like the idea. Right. I don't know.
You can come up here. There's no mic, but you can come up here and you're loud enough.
Well, I have our communications director that was chosen by a board that has no elected officials on it whatsoever, because when we initially got this started, it was take politics out of life saving. So once this bill is completed, makes it, I've kind of been the project lead on this. I step back, it's like raising a kid till it's 18 and saying, here, you enjoy the world.
18,
Well,
I can't get rid of it.
and it's been a project that has been talked about for probably 40 years. And at least Henry Barber would be smiling right now. This is one of those things he tried so hard to do. Point Comfort, voted to sign this agreement, get on board. It's a couple of little typos on it. Told Emery, I apologize. I couldn't hide a typo, so she probably had 10 copies in her mailbox the other day before I left for the weekend. But it'd be, it's the county would pay for facilities, 7 dispatchers would be right there. And the city would pay for their 4 dispatchers, which is basically night day, 2 days, or shifts. And then the other consumers that use the whole system, totality, was split between, Point Comfort, Seadrift, and the school district was split 1 dispatcher. They're kind of the list, at least for the consumers of it. Other questions on?
Seadrift, you said, what about Seadrift?
There'll be one of the 3 that split it, just
Okay.
Point Comfort and the school.
Well, that's great.
So everybody.
Communication.
Yes.
So so we have 4 dispatchers that only work on city stuff, or do all the dispatchers share everything?
Well, I don't have a way to share a picture of how the console looks like. It's a 4-position console that kind of sits in a T. And all these dispatchers, they're set up identically. And
It's not like first in, first out, or is it? I mean,
well, everybody is going to be cross-trained to do everything. I'm gonna let Patrick talk to that. He's our communications director, because once everything's put together, he's doing the policies and procedures on how everything runs.
That's gonna flow.
It's gonna flow so smooth. I mean, second saves lives.
But they are county employees, our 4 dispatchers, our county,
Yes, they would be county.
county employees.
Yes.
It is a county department.
Okay.
Yes, so the way that I intend to run dispatch is you can't just have city dispatchers or county dispatchers in one particular center that's set to serve the entire county. So as such, I would expect all of my dispatchers to be able to answer a phone, recognize a city address or a county address. So they will be cross-trained. However, there will be dispatchers who are veterans of the police department that are gonna come over that we look forward to introducing to the city side of things, because I've been a county dispatcher since 2014 here. And I know the city offers several different aspects that need to be utilized by the other county dispatchers. And in methods of training and the way the city layout, things like that. So they will be all county employees, but they are for the whole of the county, and that includes the city, obviously.
Well, that makes sense. Brittany, how many employees are we losing then?
4,
We lost 4. Okay.
Yeah. And I do have it updated on the budget,
Okay,
on the FTEs and the numbers.
talk on that Monday then.
Mhm.
If any of y'all have not been able to see the console, the way it's set up, it is absolutely state of the art. And it will minimize the response to the calls so much. It's really something. And that whole building was paid for with ARPA funds. It cost the taxpayers nothing. It was our ARPA money that was left over, and that's when we decided to build it. The combined dispatch is first workshop we had. Chief Reyes was there, and he's got up, shook his head. He said, I've always heard about it, but I never thought I'd see this. It is great.
I'd like to see it, Judge Meyer, once it's operating. I don't know if that's a problem or not.
Not at all.
Okay.
It's a real nice setup. I went over there today. They have four areas where you can sit. You can put like 6 monitors in one area, 6 monitors in the other one, 4 areas like this. Set up pretty nice.
Just in time for hurricanes.
I'd like to see, I bet you it's really,
It's something we haven't
State of the art.
installed yet, because the working on some other logistics is that you'll have a video wall, which will have a map of the county. And right now, the dispatcher will be able to look up and see PD unit, SO unit, fire unit, ambulance. And a 911 call comes in at Whataburger. There is no transferring it from the county to the city. They look up, they see the unit who's closest, dispatches it, and they're there. It's just, I mean, this is like life saving.
Yeah, that sounds great. Communication. Yes.
We have several veteran dispatchers that were around during the explosion at Formosa. I believe it was 2005.
So maybe.
And they're just amazed at how this is going to streamline the process of communication. And like I said, I've been working since 2014 for the county as a dispatcher. I understand these challenges. I've been in these challenges, and I know that seconds really do save lives. And this is going to shave that time off there. And I would like to, again, invite the council to come see this console, come see the building, come see it a few times.
Yeah, come see it now and when it's finished.
Yes.
And Giannis had a really good segue of why we needed to do something like this, is even if people come and the developers come, even if they don't, we still have the issues. We still have to deal with the issues. They're coming and going, and with this type of businesses coming in our area, it's going to be imperative that we take care of our people first.
Thank you.
So we can just call you up and.
Yes, sir. Just, and if anyone doesn't have my card, I'm happy to provide it for you, but you can just.
Jim Ward has his number.
Yeah.
Just give me.
Surprise.
Business hours, and I can make.
His contact list really does.
I'll be happy to meet with anyone that would like to see it, and, proud to show it off.
What's your last name, Patrick?
Schubert, like.
Maybe we can set an open house for the officials sometime when it gets closer to the finish date.
We'd love to have a large ribbon cutting. Basis.
Can you spell your name, sir, for my minutes?
Yes, ma'am, it's SCH, U as in Union, B as in boy, ERT.
You're getting ready to operational like this January maybe?
Well, January 1st is the tentative date. We're currently in the process of getting an agency number with TCOL, the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. And so we're going through that process. We're anticipating it for the 1st. It could happen a little bit sooner. Once we turn that application over to the state, it's in the hands of people that aren't in the county or the city staff.
Yeah, and they have to get clearance from the FBI. Have you ever dealt with state and federal at the same time?
Right. Hey, I think we understand. Everybody knows how to sign up and go to.
Yes.
Okay, well, our next order of business would be to approve the MOU as presented.
So move. Second it.
So we have a motion and a second approving memorandum of understanding between the city of Port Lavaca and Calhoun County Combined Dispatch as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being there. Thank you. Thanks for answering those hurricane questions. Yeah. That was first. But Don and our. Jen. All right, now we have, let's see, what do we have? Alan seconded it. We do.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. We're gonna start the hearings. Back to item one. Yeah, we're gonna go back to item one and conduct. I don't know that we need to conduct a hearing, but we'll call one anyway for these. These are the ones we tabled last time, 2 weeks ago. Actually, we didn't really table it. We pass the motion, declare them as substandard housing that we wanted to get an update on. This hearing will be for an update on the 4 houses that we asked to be brought back to the agenda. So item number 1 is to conduct a public hearing for update on properties previously declared substandard on April 8th, 2024. And they include 617 South Ann Street, 506 South Virginia Street, 306 Martin Luther King, and 227 Tommy Drive. So it's 7:18, we will begin the public hearing. Next one we have to start and finish time.
It's an out of abundance of caution for due process.
Joe, you want to begin with 617 South Ann Street? Ever any update on that one?
Derek has touched base with the landowner. The mobile home does not belong to the landowner. She states that she did not realize that she was responsible for the mobile home on her property. But she's going to have it removed and this time, staff has requested council to give authorization to proceed with the demolition and place a lien on the property.
What's the address?
617 South Ann.
They're working on it.
There's been no change in the condition whatsoever at all.
So the contact was made back in April. And we held the first public hearing. Gave these notices and so forth, and this picture was taken on 8/9/24, and there's been no change despite it's an out of city owner of the lot. It is so they live in Houston, they don't come down very often.
So
I mean, my thought is the city needs to demolish it and be done.
when we contact the owner, what are they saying? Are they saying, well,
No, they're saying, oh, well, we didn't know we were responsible. We'll have it removed, but there's been no action to.
how long ago was that?
I mean, it doesn't say the dates of the phone call, but that was the report at the time he first declared it substandard.
Yeah, I'd hate to demolish it and put a lien on their property and they show up with the truck the next day to remove it. Just kind of wondering what the timeline is.
So what I might suggest then, if you feel that way, is to give them 60 days to get it done. And if it's not done, then the city will do it at their expense and lien the property.
I don't know. I'm not the only ones talking here. The rest of you guys.
Just said 617. It's gonna cost a lot of money. Just how much are we talking? How much does it cost there, Henry? Any idea?
The demolition is, I don't think it's a significant cost.
Yeah,
10?
it's under 10. Yeah, we got some.
We have a budgeted amount every year for this, and so they're trying to, bring that before then.
To the landowner, right? So he,
But he's gonna have to do something about it. That's the thing. Otherwise, we put a lien on his property.
right.
And that's my only concern.
Mr. Clay?
I know the landowner. This is my cousin, and she's very elderly. The house, that trailer house that was put there unbeknownst to her. And she don't have nothing to do with the trailer house. In fact, the guy that was living there, Mr. Longoria, he purchased that house from someone else and never transferred the title in his name. So now, like, she's caught up in this mess because it's her land. Sam. It's in Sam's name, which he sold it to Mr. Longoria, who was renting the property. And the house was substandard, so he got that trailer house and put it over there. But couldn't Shirley didn't know nothing about that. And she lives in Houston. Now, I don't know who her power of attorney is, but she's she's very elderly. I think she's in her 90s or something like that. So I had addressed this before, and I addressed it as stealing land. If you don't You just post it in the Port Lavaca Bay, somebody in Houston gonna know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that, we lost a lot of land on the south side because these people are in Connecticut, they're in California, they're in Las Vegas, they're in New York, and they don't get no notice.
That's kind of what I was,
To take care of their property here. They own it. They have a duty to take care of it.
They should have some kind of responsibility.
Yeah, they have.
Also,
And I'm gonna tell you once again, it's still in land if you do that. The only answer you got is you're gonna do this, put a lien on it, and then they're gonna put it up for sheriff's sale.
well, that's why I'm kind of leaning towards getting the timeline and 60 days, and that gives that, regardless of who owns that trailer house, she owns that property and there
I understand
is,
that.
and unfortunately, she's gonna have to do something about it. Whether, I don't know what she's gonna be able to do about it, but
There's a process
kind of leaning
how to
towards
do
60
it.
days to give her sufficient notice that, hey, we gotta do something here, otherwise we have to put a lien on your
So you
property.
have-
So we're not stealing her property.
Yes,
You have her address?
yes.
Okay, I please contact her, let her know that this is gonna happen. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to do no favors, but I think she can
That
handle
is
it.
a big trailer.
It
It's
is.
not a small trailer.
That's just like when Harvey came through and destroyed the trailer on our property. We couldn't get no help from FEMA. We couldn't get no help from the county. We couldn't get no help from the city. So I literally tore that down by myself. It was 2.5 tons, which we had to pay to have it hauled off to the junk, and it was on our expense, you know? And I didn't understand that. But because of certain circumstances, because Miss Jones was in college at 20 years old, and she had a student loan from 42 years ago, they said they couldn't help her. That's disgusting. They couldn't help her, so I had to do that work. And I did it.
Well, thank you for
Other
that.
property, as I said,
That's one less property we have to worry about.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. But, you know, it's just, I'm just saying.
I know, and I'm saying too, I'm saying that I understand where you're coming from. And I don't know about the rest of the council members, but I'd like to lean towards
You can
Giving her
do longer than that if you want to. I mean,
60
it's,
days. And then after that, then I don't feel like we're stealing anything.
What's our process on that? Do we have to take action? Or do we
yeah,
just,
we're in the public hearing right now, but I'm taking.
but when we do.
Yeah, you'll be the motion would be to authorize the landowner 60 days to have the property or have the demolishment and removal of that trailer home.
Then we take.
Or thereafter, no, but you need to take the action today, or the city has the authority to move to demolish it on its own and place a lien on the property to the extent of the amount paid. Not gouging the change in the price. We're just doing it for that. And the city is not going to pursue a foreclosure, okay? At this time, I'm not saying in the future you wouldn't. But in order to collect that lien, that property would have to be sold. Okay, and that would be, the city would have to pursue like a tax.
$1,000 laying around somewhere.
Right, so now the city could move to foreclose on that lien. Okay, this is not homestead property, but I'm not suggesting that's gonna happen quickly. I think we've been trying to, deal with that, but I will say this, the cost of demolishing may exceed the value of the land.
it usually does.
It'll be close. It won't, but
Okay,
Best news.
yeah, we'll contact her.
I mean, don't wait till
No.
5 days to contact you in that 5 days.
No, no, I would never,
Immediately.
never, yeah,
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just adequate, contact them so they have adequate time to.
absolutely, 100%,
All right.
100%.
Move on to the 506 South Virginia Street, but we don't do anything.
well, we have
Haven't done anything yet.
for the motion.
Yeah,
So 60 days after she's contacted.
I just want to know the process.
Yeah.
Emery, I didn't know.
If we can get demolitions
Set already as far as timelines and stuff.
all these coordinated, less expensive.
No.
Situation's different.
Every situation is different.
Daniel and I, we've got bids on I don't know if this one was one of them we got busy.
And the reason that this is coming back is because of the action that was suggested last time. I don't know if it was clear that the intent was at the end of that period of time, if no agreement was made, the city was going to be able to demolish. So we're going to make that crystal clear tonight.
Clear, that would be great. I think that gives them, understanding.
Yeah. Like 3 months
Yes.
go by.
Oh, yeah. We've already been to public hearing on this. Mhm. But we'll do it again and there is no problem. We'll give plenty of advance notice. Because, I mean, if you think about it too, once you contact them and let the 60 days run, it takes time to ramp up a contractor to do it. So
So you mail them the, certified letter and you make sure that, they received it.
mhm. And phone calls, I think Derek actually talked to Miss Shirley. I think she called after she got the letter.
That would be good. We should talk to him. South Virginia Street.
Status.
But Derek is in communication with the owner. The owner is planning to restore the structure. He's currently in the process of procuring a contractor to replace the roof, the siding, the windows, with the plans to be, have it renovated fall of 2024. Staff is recommending to allow 6 months to execute a renovation agreement between and obtain a building permit. He also sent a timeline of all of his work that he's going to have planned to do in the future here, that's property.
He, the owner,
Yes, the owner.
sent the timeline.
Yes.
So the thought on this, why we're extending it for a period of time, because this is a historical building. It has been around a long time. It's not designated historical, but it is a historical house. It is, they have presented a plan, so that was one thing that
Yeah, they got a plan.
that we have asked for. We didn't get it at the first public hearing, but I guess we got somebody's attention and now we have a plan. And, if that plan, if 6 months from now, the plan is not forthcoming, we'll be back again. Now, there's kind of two ways you could go with this. Is you could say you enter a plan and begin or have a building permit by the end of 6 months, or the city can proceed to demolition. So I like that because we don't have to come back. And if he needs an extension, he can come back and ask for an extension. But I would like to see that at the end of the 6 months, if he has not complied with what he said he would do, that the city be able to move forward. Or if y'all want to hear it back again, we'll have another public hearing, another set of notices go out and so forth. 6 months should be plenty of time to be able to get a building permit.
I'm in agreement with you on that.
It's not that I'm trying to tear, it's like, how are we gonna clean up if we keep in the can?
We're not gonna kick this one down the road. So,
Not
yeah, so
give them the 6, so this is a public hearing. My recommendation is give them the 6-month period, like they said here in the little blurb, to have the building permit issued. And if at the end of the 6 months that has not occurred, the city's authorized to demolish.
that's fine. I don't know about the rest of the council.
So they're waiting on a plan, or what does that mean? They're waiting on, to hear from contractors or?
He is, I don't know if you want to show him the scope.
He proposed a plan.
He proposed a plan.
Got a copy.
He presented,
With dates and everything.
he presented a plan.
They got the dates.
So it says,
Yeah.
so mow high grass and weeds by 8/12/24, and I don't know if it was today, but
Picture looks like they mowed trees to remove, a sequoia to
so
remove.
trim and remove overgrown trees, 8/26 of this month.
So I guess my only comment on the plan is it's gonna take them more than 6 months to renovate.
To complete, yes.
So-
This is just a building permit.
That's fine. Okay.
Building permit issued by the end of 6 months.
Okay.
Hope he does. It's a nice historical home there. Hope it does stay.
Nice historical home.
Is that an Indianola house or is it?
It looks like one, doesn't it?
I don't,
Indianola house.
I want to say it was relocated.
Yeah, cause
Looks like that.
I
I
like it.
think they were
Russell, you like it?
more connected with Indianola than Lavaca back in the day.
Yeah, I really like that, what it could be,
Have you looked
the
at that
potential.
up close?
Okay.
I seen it from the street.
You know, right?
It's tough,
Yeah,
but
but they
Okay.
standing
All
up.
right, now we're gonna move on to 306 Martin Luther King.
He's there.
On 10.
You want to go talk, you want to talk?
You go first. I think you're gonna give your recommendation.
Give, Eric is in communication with the property owner on this property also. The owner has security siding and some of the building materials and is planning to replace some of the siding and making other improvements to the structure. The property is being mowed and there's been some work done in the building since the substandard declaration was made on April 8th. Staff recommendation, the council allows 6 months to obtain a building permit and to complete the improvements of the building and structure. There's such that it is no longer
Substandard.
Anything you wanna add, Michael?
Yes. I've been working on that place. My city councilman said he was going to help me out, but he never showed up. And he said he's gonna have some guys come over and look at it and see if they could help me with it. But they never showed up and he never showed up. So I did get some help. 2 old men.
You. Don't jack an old man.
Well,
Daniel couldn't make it. I had.
73 and actually not too far from my age.
I'm
You
just
put us both-
teasing you.
I'm serious though. If you put us both together, we make a whole man. Okay? So I was working on the building and we needed a beam under there and you need to get under there with a jack. So I told Jack, I said, it's well, Mike, we gotta get under with a jack. I said, well, Jack, I can't get under there. I got 2 bags, I gotta have double shoulder operation. I'm a disabled vet. And he said, his words, not mine. Oh, hell, I'll get on there. I said, you gonna do what? So a friend of mine was passing by, he asked me, Mike, say, who was that white man under your house? I said, oh, that was Jack. I said, Jack who? I said, Jack, quit low the mirror. The mayor was under your house? That ratty? Breathing house? I said, yeah, that's the only help I could get. If I got under there, they might have called 911 to get me from under there. So he did. And you should have saw us Saturday. Oh my God. Jody felt sorry for us. He was soaking wet, all the way down to our boots. When we walked, the water squishing and we were soaking wet. Me and this other old man over here.
We're pulling the floor out on the inside, so we put the jacks in from under
And
the inside, and it was like a sauna. It was like a sauna.
Where I made the mistake was, I should have did the outside first, but instead I did the inside first, gonna do the outside later. Because we had all the material we needed in that trailer house, that 90-foot trailer house, and imploded and Harlem took everything. All our plywood, our sheet rock, our paint, and any other things that was in it. We stored it there, because we were gonna go down there next to fix that. But Harlem took care of that. All I did was haul that to the junk. There wasn't nothing else I could do because it imploded. So now we started all over. I'm going back to this house. And we've been working hard. I mean, sometimes we get a whole day in. I have went from 10:35 in the morning to 2:05, 10:35 in the morning to 2:05. I have a LED light. Is it a friend back? Mike, you still at that house? I said, yeah, I got to get this done. You know, and I appreciate. I just want to say this, Mr. Tippett. I want to appreciate what you were saying about allowing the 60 days for the different things that we got to do. I want to say I appreciate the city council to extend me this extension to complete that house. The house is not for living, it's for storing. We need it for storing. We inherited, my fiance inherited 4 properties. Biological mother and father died, a stepfather died, adopted parents died, and we inherited this property and it was thrown on us. And we're doing our best we can with what we got. Like I said, I'm on a limited income and she's a teacher's aide with heart condition and a bad back. And between Jack and I think we might have one, well, we don't have no knees and I don't have no shoulders, so we're combining together. And he's been, I just can't say how much I appreciate him helping me.
So Derek had recommended 6 months to, get the improvements completed. Do you think he can do it in 6 months?
Says,
I know I can do it in 6 months. The only problem gonna be, I'm due to have a shoulder operation, which I gotta set up with the VA. They're gonna operate on. They're talking about, well, we can't do them both. I said, hell no, you can't do them both at the same time. I won't be able to do nothing. I won't be able to wipe my own butt, man, if you did that. So
Get it passable.
we're gonna
6 months.
yeah, and I want to put this in right quick now.
He didn't say which 6 months. He just said, well.
He's 6 months. Working on it, and that's what we
No,
want.
that's fine. We want to see that.
Yeah, we want
No.
to see people working on it.
No, I'm not.
No, I know, but I'm trying to.
I like to give everybody.
Well, I'm gonna need.
And if you have to have social surgery, you might need an extension, so you can always come back, if you're showing.
I'll tell you what I need.
Hey,
2 shoulders.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I mean this very. I can do the work to a certain extent.
Sure.
But my problem is materials. Okay, we got some 2x4s, and I was lucky enough to acquire a lot of 2x6s, 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s. From when Harvey came through and deposited all the piers from the waterfront over Kitchen Estates, what we call Black Rock. And I saw it and I got all of them. And pier wood is the best wood. I mean, come on, man, you don't get no better than that. It's water.
That's good.
So I found that. And then, someone donated 10 sheets of party board and someone else had one and said, well, Mike said, if you get this part, I can help you do this. But they didn't show up, so it's.
You have to move on, Michael.
Okay.
Not incriminate yourself.
I'm just saying, I just want to put this out there. If y'all have available any 1x4s, I sure could use them.
Okay.
Or any other material. We got, I thank you guys very much and appreciate your consideration. Thank you very much.
180 days thing.
6 months.
Yeah, well, we can always extend it once.
And do you want to put that same demolition language, or because he's working on it, don't want to leave that, they'll have to come back for demolition? That's where it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I need another 6 months.
Right, I agree.
That's making the effort, whether it's complete.
So we'll just do 6 months to get a building and work on it.
Okay, good.
Now we'll come back to
Okay.
it. May fall down, so
Yes.
Oh, then.
Okay, 227 Tommy Drive.
the need.
Okay.
Exciting on it.
Go ahead.
At 227 Tommy Drive. There has been no improvements made to this property since April 8th, nor since April 2022, when the property was first noticed by code enforcement. Despite the numerous efforts to locate and communicate with the heirs of the property, no communication has been made. All required notices have been made, and staff is requesting council authorization to proceed with demolition and placing a lien on this property.
It's all documented. All communication is documented. Everything is, and you're shaking her head, Justin.
I'm just reading.
And as long as it's documented, I feel like we've got it documented that we've tried to communicate with them and there's no response. I think we should go ahead with demolition. That's the way I feel. The other properties, we've made communication and they've communicated back with us. So there's an effort there. If there's not an effort,
But it's just like.
our city and if we're just gonna sit back and go, okay, give them another 30 days, if there's no action on the part of the owner. Trying to steal land, we're trying to help our community.
If y'all will remember when I first talked about this property belongs to, or was, belonged to a lady. That's estate is in like the Dallas area, or where is it that the rodeo place is? Where they do all the horse stuff.
Fort Worth.
Not Fort Worth, but there's another little town. Anyway, she, let me see if it's her address, Mesquite. Yeah, Mesquite, Texas. And so it's owned by a bunch of, I can even track down the heirs if I want to. The letters were sent, and what's interesting is for the year 2023 is the first year the taxes are not paid. So perhaps they went and got advice and said, you know, if you keep paying taxes on this property, you don't own it. You know, if one person pays it, that does not mean they own it. And so it's splintered as far as the ownership. And so my thought is that now they're not going to pay the taxes anymore. They're in arrears as of today, $1,455.06. So this is one of those properties that well, they've got it appraised at $47,000.
What?
Yes. So, you know, they haven't filed a tax protest. They haven't, you know, so
Particularly.
this is a prime example of time to tear it down and move on.
Saving money on taxes if you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there'll be a lien on the property.
There'll be a lien on the property. Now, it's not going to be the first lien, okay? Because the tax lien's going to be first. Tax lien's always first. But if we do it now, it'll reduce that value for the next year. And then also it will put us in line to, if it's sold to somebody that buys it off the tax roll, maybe they'll get a little bit more and you'll be able to collect part of that lien.
I like what Rosie said and what you said about the fact that if you're not gonna do anything and we're trying to clean up the city and we just keep putting it off and putting it off, it never gets done. Nothing ever gets done. And it's time to say, okay, there's been no communication. There's been nothing. There's been no effort on their part. Do it.
The city has made plenty of it. I make a motion that we. Or do we-
It's a public hearing now.
Oh, thank you.
Close the public hearing, 7:45. Go ahead and close the public hearing and move to agenda item number 2, consider and take action on property previously declared substandard. Following public hearings on April 8th and July 8th. And those are the properties we just discussed, 617 South Ann, 506 South Virginia, 306 Martin Luther King, and 27 Tommy Drive.
This is out of order, Mayor.
Yes.
So we did
Because the public hearing on Cheeve Street addresses
Right.
are later. And Bernardin and Nueces and Benavides.
It's agenda number 3 is still Chiefs.
Right.
Right, so we're doing agenda.
This should be a public another public hearing.
Doing a second public hearing.
Second public hearing is next, not action.
Oh, you don't want to do the action? No.
Unless you want to take the agenda items out of order.
The next agenda is.
Next agenda is number 2 is take action.
The chief.
No, the other is.
Number 2 is action for the public hearing.
And number 2 is action for.
They want to do number 3 next?
Not in my packet. Just
Want to move to number 3 and do the,
okay.
do a public hearing?
I'm looking at my packet.
Oh, in the packet. Oh, I was gonna say.
I'm reading my packet and that's not what's next in my packet.
I'm going by the agenda.
You're going by the agenda.
It was right.
Oh, well, the pictures in the packet were the actual consider the action.
Two.
Jump further to number 3.
I can take action. Is action on.
Let's take the action.
Let's take the
I
action.
mean, the agenda is in order, so let's go by the agenda.
Let's not that out.
Right, let's do by the agenda.
And I've called the agenda item number 2. We need to take action on 6, 17 South Ann Street. We had discussed 60 days. That one, that was the mobile home. Right.
The recommended motion was 60 days, notice to, accomplish the demolition of the mobile home,
Removal or demolition.
removal of the mobile home.
Okay, wait a minute. So give 60 days after notification,
Yes.
right? And what's the other part?
To remove or demolish. Or the city may proceed with demolition,
Of the city,
may proceed with demolition
they proceed with demolition. Okay.
and place a lien on the property.
We make a motion.
Place a lien.
She's making the motion.
Property.
I'm giving her the language for motion. You can say I so move.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no, let's,
I got-
can we just do all four?
That's 617, okay.
Let's do one at a time because.
Yeah, that's one at a time. Yeah.
Okay, so I got 617.
For 617 South Ann
Second.
Street.
We're gonna do a motion on each one?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so just a minute. So Tedbit.
Makes it easier for us.
Ward. Second, okay, and did you get a vote?
Not yet. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll move on to 506 South Virginia Street.
The recommended action on this was 6 months to obtain a building permit.
180 days.
No, 6 months, 180 days.
Well,
To obtain a building permit.
Okay.
Or the city is authorized to demolish
Okay,
and place the lien on the property.
and place a lien, okay, so the same thing here.
says Derek can calculate the 6 months
Okay.
legal.
You can do 180 days. I don't.
It's gonna be longer either way. so.
Is there a legal difference between 6 months and 180 days?
If you take different 6 months periods. Some months have 28, 29, 30, and 31 days.
I so move.
Second.
It doesn't matter.
So we got a deal.
We have a motion in a second.
We have a motion in a second to allow 6 months to
Obtain a building.
obtain a building permit on this property. We will proceed with this.
And place a lien, okay.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Right, 306 Martin Luther King. So we're just gonna give the 6 months, then reconsider again.
6 months to obtain a building permit.
And work on it.
To satisfy the
Code enforcement.
code enforcement office.
Okay,
But we're not gonna take any further. You'll revisit it in 6 months. Put that on your calendar.
We have a motion to grant 6 months to comply with the code enforcement officer's request.
I so move. Second.
We have a motion,
second, I'm sorry, Ward,
motion and a second to allow 6 months to comply with the code inspector's requests, and then it will come back before council for reconsideration.
If necessary.
got it. I got it.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Move to 227 Tommy Drive.
recommended motion is to authorize the city to demolish the property because all previous notices have been given.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second to authorize demolition of 227 residents of 227 Common Drive as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Same sign. Opposed, motion passes.
Good.
Type it fast. Thanks to bid. Dirty's done. All right.
Actually, there is only a couple, so it's really just kind of sealed proposals they do. And so it's not a formal bid process, but yes, there is a couple of contractors that do that. They try to get some kind of solicit, some kind of bid and then, or sealed proposal, then they move forward.
We're in the paper.
Nothing in the paper, it's already done. All those have been done. All the notices, required notices have been completed.
Okay, I think we've completed that. We'll move to agenda item number 3, conduct public hearing in accordance with the City of Port Lavaca Code of Ordinances, Chapter 12, Buildings, Building Regulations, Article 4, Substandard Buildings, Sections 12 to 291. Notice A and B. Following properties, 16 Cheese, 225 Cheese, 227 Cheese, 505 Norton Street, 550 North Oasis Street, 502 North Benavides Street. So the time is 7:54. We will begin the public hearing. If Russell Kane,
I just wanted to take on 16.
That's the first one.
okay, well, that'll be, I'll say Joseph talk.
Why don't you let him recommendation first?
That is recommended council to really stop and substandard, allow the property owner 90 days to work on good development services. But to arrive at a written renovation plan, and if no such plan is executed, the council will authorize staff to proceed with demolition.
Yeah, now.
That owner, Mike Thompson, has given that home to me for a homeless person. And so we're cleaning the lines, the trees, the electric lines out of the trees and redoing the meter loop. And this kid does the odd jobs for me. And he's pretty dependable, but he doesn't have a car. He rides around town on a bicycle, but he does good work. And anyway, the 90 days, I think we'll get everything all done, and he's redoing the floor and electrical. So you want getting all the proper permits, so nobody's working there that doesn't have a license.
On 90 days, then we'll just bring it back and reconsider.
No, I mean, I think. So we're saying all you have to do is enter a plan with development services. So if they can reduce that plan to writing within a 90-day period.
Okay.
And with a line. And then if that's not completed or done, then we demolish.
Did demolish.
You can get a letter to Sarah or Derek
I will.
with the plan listed in the.
Yeah.
And then that gives them milestones to go by and.
That's two other things I wanted to say. Public and party. It's selling the reflectors for the EMS with the street numbers on them, on mailboxes, on fences, on buildings. And for $25, anyway, we're doing it. And Rachel at the 911, she loves it. So anyway, we've started doing that and we're selling them. And then the other thing I wanted to say, that dinner that I passed out about Lincoln Reagan dinner, there's a Supreme Court justice there. And Popeyes is gonna be here and we're waiting on Ted Cruz. Michael Cloud will be here. And I think Todd Hunter's coming, so this will be a big event for Lavaca. But it is a fundraiser for our Republican Party.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, next.
Next, 25 and 227 Cheese. Property owner has provided a written statement on 7/3/24 that he would have both mobile homes removed the property by December 31st, 2024. And I believe he's here.
Here's the letter.
To speak,
If there's any questions, I mean, I don't know.
Do they have axles?
Someone's off.
You got contractors doing that work for you?
Believe me.
You can go stuff.
I've done some before in the past, I did. Last one took me almost, 2 months for a full-size, single wide mobile home, you know, it was a large, I don't know if it was the largest, but.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. A lot of work, and again, there's 2 mobile homes all together. So I figured 2 months for one, 2 months for the other. 6 months because I can't take this Texas heat. Okay. I've hard issues, I can still work, but getting out in the heat, it just, I mean, 30 minutes out, toast pretty much.
Those, what do you do with them?
Huh?
What do you do with them after you? Just curious.
You know, there's a lot of copper in there, there's a lot of stuff. At the end of each day, you know, just haul.
Okay.
Whatever is done at the end of the day, get it on the trailer, get it out of there, just piecemeal it. I do work out of town, so it's kind of hard to, you know, I can't work on it like after I get off work for an hour or two. So that makes it a little bit hard. I'm generally gone for 3 days out of 7. Generally, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but,
Feel pretty good, pretty confident about the December 31st. Hey,
well,
6 months. And
yeah, 6 months, if I had 6 months, because again, it's, you know, the heat still can last here in almost another 2 months
yeah,
down here, so.
Well, you put December 31st on your letters.
that's
I
all.
did,
Yeah. But I mean, as long as you're making progress and you
Right.
come back and,
okay.
yeah, I don't think
6 months on that.
Either
if you have half of it.
February 12th or whatever, you know, so I wrote down. I'll back you go.
So, and this council has always been very generous, or the department, if you're making progress, you can get an extension most likely. A lot of progress.
See something.
Thank you. Appreciate your work. Last thing we want to do is, I need to mount it. Yeah.
That's.
Right, move to 505 on Arden Street.
On this one here, at 505 Ward Street, staff is recommending council declare this property substandard. Allow the property owner 90 days to work on the, with development services to arrive at a written renovation plan. And if no plan is executed, then council has authorized staff to proceed with demolition.
Danny, is that the gentleman that was talking to you today?
Yeah, I talked to him a while ago. He said what he wants to do is to board it all up so that people can't go in and out of it. And give him time to, he's working, building another building right now somewhere else. Once he finishes that, he wants to come back and start working on this one. But I don't know if he has any, does he have a big plan or anything at this time?
No.
So I guess he needs to be notified about that. Having a written plan.
So what would happen if you do as recommended is they would get a letter in the mail that says you have 90 days to enter into a written renovation plan with development services of the city, and failure to do so at the end of 90 days can allow for the city to proceed with demolition after that time period.
But yeah, he needs to be made aware of that.
He knew the city was looking at his property.
Yeah.
So he needs to get in contact with
So can we, how difficult would it be to put that letter in Spanish for him?
Difficult.
He needs to be made aware of that, have a plan in writing. And
I can use Google Translate very well, and then I can get my mother, a Spanish teacher, to review it after.
Google Translate's the best.
I know.
It gets you somewhere and then you get something better. Hi, Rosie.
Very colloquial.
So
It's a start.
you don't think I noticed he was Spanish speaking only.
He is Spanish speaking only.
So
But the way this is
you think
written,
the Spanish letter would be okay?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but the way this is written is if nothing happens, then we are authorizing staff to proceed with demolition without bringing it back to us.
Correct.
So that's the way this is
Yeah,
written.
he
90
needs to be
days.
informed of that, so he knows.
He has to give a written plan within 90 days and probably start some kind of.
Needs to be informed of the procedure, to be able to come back here, you know, talk to Derek or talk to the department, you know. And if he's getting a letter in English and he's not having someone translate it for him, you know.
Yeah, it'd be better if he could get it in time.
I wrote it down that we need Spanish speaking.
But we're authorizing them to, if nothing happens, we're authorizing the demolition without coming back.
Right.
Just taking that. Okay.
he makes a plan and comes back, we could authorize him with time.
Well, if he makes a plan, then
That'll be up to staff. Discuss.
Yeah, excuse me,
I don't think Sarah speaks Spanish.
what?
Sarah, code enforcement.
Something I noted down on 515 North New Oasis.
I got his phone number too.
Oh, but didn't we get
Put to me on color.
this one?
You can talk. Good for council. We need staff to
well,
take those actions.
Jody's-
Yeah, it's my district.
Okay, let's move to 515 North Nueces Street.
Okay.
Okay, 515 North Nueces.
That was the one we.
The property owner has been contacted. That was one that the code enforcement and city manager's office
Declare some
staff is recommending council to declare this property substandard, allow 90 days. Work out with development services to arrive to a written renovation plan, and if no such plan is executed, council authorize staff to proceed with demolition.
But I believe she's-
This is my property.
Please state your name.
Sylvia Arevalo. Just wanted to talk a little bit about this and what's going on. So, I received a letter in the mail on a Saturday, and I was to be here at a meeting on that following Monday. I was never notified that my property was being looked at. My property has always been paid on taxes. It's always been up on everything. And I wasn't aware that my property was even being looked at till at that time. So of course, I'm freaking out because the letter that was sent to me made it sound like y'all were gonna demolish my property and put a lien on it. Well, I got scared and came and talked to the city manager, and then I went back and there was a gentleman in my property taking pictures of my property. And he said, just clean up the grass and put a board on the window. I have been in contact with Port Lavaca PD many times. My window had a beautiful big window in the front. The neighborhood kids broke it all out. Police have been over there several times. So I had to go and board up that window. We boarded everything up around the house, so that no one can get into this home. Grass has been cut, everything has been done. And the grass was cut today. This morning, my brother went and cut everything, took the limbs out of there. Yeah, I have a picture if you need to see.
Yeah, it was just the
Yeah,
picture
I have-
taken Friday. It
Yeah, I
hadn't
have
been
a
touched.
picture of it. My brother told me go by there, everything is done. The branches are taken out, everything. When I was supposed to come the last time was before we got the threat with the hurricane. I was supposed to have been here. Like I said, I had not even had a week's notice to be here. So of course I came and talked to the city manager when she was like, don't get yourself all, she's like, it's okay, it's just, they're gonna declare, how about declaring it, this is not, okay, I said, no, understand though. Before, court enforcement, at one time, they let me, they sent me a letter by the resident saying, hey, the grass needs to be cut, giving me 30 days. Okay, so I went and took care of it. So all of a sudden I'm getting this on my property that, they're considering demolishing my property and all this stuff. And so, of course, I mean, I work in Victoria. I live between here and Victoria, and I try to take care of two properties. So I was freaking out about this one. This is my little home I raised my kids in that I bought myself. And so, yeah, and I don't want to demolish my property.
Yeah.
So if you look at the inspection report, it's got several issues that need to be addressed. Some of them have been with the dead trees, tree limbs. But you can see the rest on y'all's list of the concerns. Generally, a house of this nature, maybe they can be secured, but again, it's just entering a written plan with development services on that they will accept. And then once you enter into that plan and you operate under that plan, then nothing's gonna get demolished.
Okay, yeah, need to understand that. I mean, work in Victoria, I'm trying to take care of another home where taxes are getting paid up. Everything's getting taken care of. These taxes are always paid up. Like I don't just have the funds to just go out there and go say, oh, I'm gonna put $10,000 into this home to get it up to your standard. Whatever that may be, I can do what I can. Secure it like I was told. The young gentleman told me to secure the home, make sure the window was secured, and make sure all doors were secured so no one could get into the home, which got taken care of. Make sure the grass was cut, the branches were taken out. We did all that. You know, when Harvey hit, the palm tree got knocked down. I had another tree that got taken out in the front yard. So, you know, we cut it down to the stumps. I don't know what else you want me to do at this point. Like I said, I can only do so much.
That's what we want you to do. You took care of what we asked you to take care of. That's all he was asking. And I understand the sentiment behind what you're saying, Sylvia. I mean, but, you know, we have to take care of everybody. But you did what you were supposed to do. Get in contact with the developmental services. You're okay. That's what you did, what you were supposed to do. Thank you. You know, we're not trying to demolish your property. We're not trying to take your home. We're not trying to do any of that. We're trying to make Port Lavaca, and you live there, raise your kids, a nice environment. That's what we want. And that's what we're trying to do.
She
You're
lived,
doing a great
raised
job.
her
Don't worry
kids,
about
and
it.
now she's living in a different property.
So,
Yeah, well, she cleaned up the yard. The yard looks better and she's
Yes.
some of the bad spots. So she's done. Yeah.
she's done everything she's supposed to do.
Just need to, she has a few more things to tend to
Yeah.
clean up.
Yeah.
So.
They didn't get the notice.
Like the
So
roof,
there's no action should be, well, this is,
want to take it off the list? Start over? After put a plan and think about.
I think she needs to go, did you talk to Derek and make a plan with him or the guy from developmental services?
He's the tall guy. Yeah, he took the pictures and he, when he said the house seems sturdy, it seems fine. I was like, this house that was every hurricane that I've seen through. You know, it's an old little house. Yeah, he just told me like, make sure it's secure. They want to, you know, be able to come into the home.
Right.
I explained to him what had happened with the window. I was like, they have reports here for like PD.
Yeah.
I've called plenty of times, you know, to let them know that the kids are going and breaking windows and stuff. And so we now worded up to where I think we're pretty good to where they can't break any more of the windows. So we got that secured, like I said.
And part of it's
all the yards been taken care of.
It's you being liable for something happening to that home. Or somebody in that home. You know, we're also trying to protect you. So,
He owns both.
She's compliant with everything. We can either give her 90 days to make sure that the yard is kept up, or we can just let it drop.
No, I think we need to make sure that the yard is kept up and that make sure you have a plan with the developmental services. That's very important. Is that true?
I don't understand what you're meaning by plan as far as what, like, what do y'all wanting? What do y'all want done?
There's a list of items that are substandard. He may give you a break on something, but you'll meet with him about the list. We can provide you the list. The list said the top, I can't read that.
It's just too much weight
Weight on the roof and it's bowing.
That's not
and
necessary.
caving.
Emery,
Maybe.
standard this list,
Sure.
and then she can.
Yeah.
It's not really very much.
Looks like she's taking care of most of the items.
It does. It looks like you've taken care of most of it, but you have to have a plan with him. You have to talk to me.
About the sinking into the ground.
Can't do anything about
That's
sinking
sinking
into
in
it.
there. It doesn't look like it's sinking. So.
Yeah, I think she's pretty much.
Well, probably Sarah. Because Derek might be out.
This is-
Or is it?
Yes.
She's gonna have projects, formation and.
I don't know about the roof there.
Well, I mean, that's what he's mentioning here, for the bowling.
So,
Maybe you look at it again, Justin, this time, but
I don't know.
I think
We should.
What's that?
probably the tall grass and the limbs and stuff really caught his attention.
He's looking at your house right next to it. That roof is.
Something that he can live with, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
secure it and keep it.
Yeah, secure it. Yeah, keep not so long as it's not a hell.
Not having-
a road.
You said you have renters in there?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids used to stay there, so for a long time, we kept the bills there at both homes.
Yeah.
So we would, of course, you went to Travis and then they don't graduate high school here. So when they were there, I worked at Capital One Bank, so it was easy for me to go there, pick them up from there and then take them to the other home. So we always kept bills on there for them, so they would just walk home from school. And so during one of our freezes, my pipes busted, so then I had to shut the water off, so I didn't turn on the bills.
I consider that.
We just, they were already big enough to where one of them was driving. So.
That's this one.
Service. Even though I'm getting rid of it, because I thought maybe one day, when there's just me, I would remodel that home and maybe just move it on myself.
Yeah, roof line.
Rent out the other one, whatever.
It's at that. This has two main.
Entire picture.
All right, so the recommendation here is 90 days to develop the written plan.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to keep up with it. She's in my district. I'd like to keep up with Derek about it. I'd like to be able to
Yeah, there's some.
follow through with the plan.
Now they're fixed.
Okay.
All right.
Have 502 North
Thank you,
Benevides.
Sam.
Oh, 5:15. Oh, you're going next.
Next one in line.
Yeah, I'm just.
Read out the letters. It'd be similar action, but it's much worse.
502, right?
Yeah, 502 North Benavides, that little two-story looking.
Not Benavides.
First. And then all.
Hello, Benavides?
Not Benavides.
Says Benavides.
Okay, there are two structures, property on ID number 2148. Okay, I'm sorry. 2142A legal description. Block A, lot 28. Address of the structure is in question on the property of 207 West George. The concern is that the property is deemed. Well, what happened here is this is two.
On the
properties.
CAD,
Okay, there's two properties up here.
it's Benavides Street.
So is it Benavides Street?
So just for y'all to know that we have heard from the landowner, so really the need to. It's on the CAD as 502 North Benavides. All the structures on that whole corner are identified. There's 4 different buildings identified.
District,
CAD.
still in District 3, whether it's on George Street or Benavides, it's all in District 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the owner has contacted us, so we know we made contact with the right person.
Okay, good.
So like I said, it's a basic corner lot, but there's two properties, two houses on here. And so one's on Benavides Street and one's on George Street, but they're on the same property.
Wait, no, recommendations from Derek is to wait on a renovation plan. Is that
Right,
correct?
so we heard from the owner. I want to bring the house at 502 North Benavides back to life. This is the list of things I would like to do to make it happen. Get it leveled, put a new roof, replace the windows, replace the wiring and make it all electric, repair the plumbing. I would like to discuss how much trouble it would be if I wanted to make it into a duplex. I'm thinking it will probably take me a year to complete the work. Thanks, Derek. So my recommendation, I think, is to give them 90 days to work out a written plan. It can be a 1-year plan. But 90 days to enter the plan. He's already been emailing with Derek, so.
If we cross board, we ought to do that for everybody. If they're coming up with a plan, let's work with it a little bit.
On that one, I would recommend that you authorize demolition if it doesn't.
If we
But-
run out of 90 days.
If you run out of the 90 days. And let me tell you, it's not that Development Services is rushing at that 90 days. Let's go polish. But it authorizes without having to come back to council. You know, and if they're, and I would think y'all would know, but if someone's trying to work to something, they're gonna bend over backwards to try to not. Yeah.
Just to that. That's what expensive.
Yes.
Okay. All of the jokes, Rick?
I believe that's it.
Okay, we'll end the public hearing at 8:19 PM. And we'll proceed to agenda item number 4. Consider to take action on.
Hey, take a break.
Oh, yeah, okay. Instead of taking action, we're gonna take a break. Give us about 10 minutes. That'd be it. Hey.
I think there's.
I think I'm not drinking enough tea. I didn't notice. Okay, we're returning to session from our recess. Okay. And we're going to begin on agenda item number 8. Consider resolution number R-0812.
We're not gonna take action on the house.
Oh, right, now we're on 7, yeah. We're on 4. 4.
Ready to go.
4, yeah. I thought we. I lost my mind for a second. I thought we'd already done. You lost your mind? Yeah. Go find it. All right. Agenda item number 4, consider and take action to declare property to be substandard and require action following declaration.
116 Chiefs, the recommendation is 90 days to enter into a renovation plan and authorize the city to demolish if such plans not entered into and lien the property.
But you're declaring it substandard.
Yes, declaring it substandard. Oh, yeah, we had already done that on the other. Declare substandard.
We're gonna do each one like we did before.
Yes.
So moved.
I'll second it.
We have a motion in the second,
Declare substandard, give 90 days to enter a renovation plan. And if not entered into, authorize to demolish and lien the property.
we have a motion in the second. On that motion.
Because why don't you, sorry, who's second?
Alan.
Discuss it and then you have.
All right. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes. 225 Chiefs.
225, 227 Chiefs. The landowner presented and it's going to be to declare it the properties, the 2 units substandard. And given 6 months to remove both structures.
Yeah.
Or if not completed, the city is authorized to demolish and lien the property.
Yeah, I motion to give Mr. Glenn 6 months to tear down
Both structures.
both structures, yes.
Okay.
And if not completed, then or if it's not done, authorized to demolish and place a lien on the property.
Can we specify to just check in with him? I mean, I'll be following up.
Well, the thing is, if you don't do it then it has to come back to council for another public hearing, another. That's why I was just authorizing, and I told him, you want an extension, come get an extension, but if we don't take the action to demolish today, then we have to bring it back with another public hearing. And if you want that, that's fine, because I know we're doing that on Mr. Revelo. So whatever you want to do.
Anne Marie, we have been talking about substandard houses ever since I've been on the city council.
But let me read.
And we haven't done anything recently. So I think it's time that we started like, you know, like,
Giving them the opportunity.
and you know, if we're not going to do something, we proceed.
Like, what is his name?
Mr. Muse.
Mr. Muse is, you know, doing something about it.
No, I understand.
Pueblo is doing it. So I don't have a problem with that.
I understand that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if we got to begin to move on some of these.
That's why she's putting it, nothing is done, then.
Yeah.
Cause we can check in and change it later from the demo too, right?
Yes,
Okay, so just, yeah, motion, give him 6 months to complete or tear it down.
or to demolish and place a lien.
Second it. Is that what your motion?
You declare it substandard first. Authorize the owner to remove within 6 months or by the end of 6 months.
180 days to 6 months.
That's fine.
Either way.
If not completed, authorize the city to demolish and lien the property.
Still have to go back. City to proceed.
Yes.
What? Look at the.
Shape for 25 Cheese Avenue and 227 Cheese Avenue, we have a motion. Motion.
Jim seconded.
Declaring the property substandard and allowing 180 days to remove, demolish, or the city will proceed with.
And the lanes.
Yeah.
Second.
You did it already.
The motion second.
Yes.
A motion and second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign.
It's the same thing for the 227,
Both of them.
both of them.
We're doing both at one time. Okay. And no ayes, motion passes. We'll move on to Bernardin Street.
The recommendation is to declare substandard, to give the owner 90 days to enter into a renovation plan with development services. And if no plan is submitted, authorize the city to proceed with demolition and lien the property. The extra on this one is that we will send out the notice in Spanish.
So we're gonna declare it substandard
Yes, ma'am.
and then give them 90 days.
To enter into a plan,
Need a motion to declare
and
that
only if no plan is entered into to demolish.
allow the property owner 90 days to work with development.
Second.
To arrive at written. Basic plan.
And
No such plans executed, and council may direct staff.
Rosie made the.
Demolish following expiration.
As he made the motion.
was it?
Same motion that's on this.
I did, but he did at the same time, so Becky Pig, I guess.
Not Warren's bigger mouth.
So we have a motion and a second to declare 505 Bernardin substandard.
Hey, Justin.
Nobody disagreed. Alan. See, as staff is recommended, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
And to send the notice.
Oh, and it's notice in Spanish.
Yeah, notice in Spanish language.
Yes, sir. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Not opposed, motion passes.
Then move to 515 North Oasis Street.
I-15 North Nueces. Recommendation was to, is different from what ended up happening. She appeared and it was to declare it substandard 90 days to enter into a renovation plan. But y'all weren't talking with her about demolishing. Mm-mm. That would have to come back.
Just the written run, just the plan?
Yes.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second. Declare this property substandard and with 90 days to arrive at a written renovation plan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes. Okay, we move to 502 North Benavides Street.
Again, that the recommendation is to declare it substandard, 90 days to enter into a renovation plan with development services. If no plan is entered into, then to demolish, authorize to demolish the structure and place a lien on the property.
So move. Second.
So we have a motion and a second to declare this 502 North Benavides substandard. Allow the owner 90. Huh? Oh, we allow the owner 90 days to work with developmental services to write a written renovation plan and no such plans. Staff proceed with demolition and a lien. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes.
Okay, for clarification, they're all declared substandard. All of them have,
Plan.
proceed with demolition with the exception of,
515 North Nueces.
see. E, 515 North Nueces is the only one that does not proceed to demolition.
Correct. And then the only difference, the 225, 227 Chiefs, he's given 6 months. Because he's gonna remove those
On each one, total for both houses?
both.
Total.
I put 6 works the same either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put,
Just while she's doing that, to let y'all know, when it's declared substandard, what that allows me to do is file a document with the county clerk that says the structure's been declared substandard. That way, if any purchaser comes along or anybody wants to buy the property and they may not be aware and they have a title search done, they're aware that the city has declared that and that there's a problem with the house, that they need to look at that if they're going to buy it. Because we don't want people coming in and buying it cheap and then thinking, oh, they can use it. So it authorizes us to put that notice out there that.
Yeah. That they have.
And once they comply, if they fix it up or get a renovation plan or, that's going to stay there until they comply. And we can release it.
Us declaring it substandard, does that affect the taxes that the city?
I doubt it, because I don't know that the CAD takes notice of that. They should, because they do look at those records, but I can't tell you if it's noticed.
You bring it in as evidence before a protest. There you go.
That one house, Mr. Revelo's house, is already down to 9,600.
Getting close to price to fly along. Yeah. Okay. And we move to, you want to move to agenda item 8? Consider resolution number R-081224-1 of the City Council of Port Lavaca, Texas, authorizing submission of a community development block grant mitigation resilient communities program project application to the general land office and authorizing the mayor to act as city's executive officer and authorizing representatives participation in community development and revitalization program. Wayne, what does that mean?
Council, this is an opportunity for us to apply for a grant through the JLO for the Resilient Communities Program. There is $100 million in community development funds available, of which the 300,000 of that can be applied for by the cities. There's no match required from the applicants. And as, unfortunately, I wasn't here for the workshop, but as you guys discussed at the workshop, it was when we did the drainage water ordinance.
Yeah.
We're proposing to work with Clean Coast to apply for the $300,000 to develop a comprehensive plan that would integrate our existing 2016 comprehensive plan, identify local risk and impacts of changing climate conditions, and forecast future growth and land use.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second approving resolution number R dash 081224-1 of City Council for Lavaca authorizing submission of the CDBG Mitigation Resiliency Grant as presented.
I would like to point out before you guys vote on this, in the environmental study or the environmental review, page 4 of it, there is a typo that you might find comical. Instead of Port Lavaca, it says Port Lavaca. That will need to be addressed.
Just a little.
Yeah, it'd be funny except we've all done that same thing.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks for pointing it out. All right, so a motion and a second,
Correct that.
as I just stated, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none opposed. Resolution is approved. And staff is authorized to proceed with the grant. Move to agenda item number 9, consider amendments to the City of Port Lavaca's HR and workplace policies as staff is recommended.
So moved.
Says as follows. Agenda.
Oh, we talked about it.
Yeah, but
That's amazing.
So Mayor Council, I was just gonna say, I know we had a workshop last Monday about it, well, numerous policies, but what we have in here is the holiday leave, which would be the floating holiday in place of the birthday leave, the timekeeping policy, and then the emergency disaster policy.
so how many holidays do we have?
It'd still be 11.
And I'd like to go with 12 holidays. I don't know if.
Which chief?
What he says,
If we're gonna be like, well, I believe that it was talked about earlier, we were saying at the workshop that both cities have 12 holidays. No, our premium insurance are going up, gonna cost employees this time, which is okay. But we wanna be competitive, most cities, we're just, they all have 12 holidays. In order for me to try to get a person out here, I have to say, we offer this like other cities do. Our retirement system is 1.5 to 1. Other cities are 2 to 1. Other cities are 20-year cities, we're 25-year cities. I just feel like we're behind on some things. I mean, that's something to consider also, you know.
I'd like to consider extra holiday, 12, just kind of get up to snuff with the rest of the city.
Pay overtime, because his people are on shift,
Juneteenth,
pay overtime.
Juneteenth.
To accept with the addition of one extra holiday pay.
Make a motion to accept as written with the addition of one extra holiday paid.
Like a second floating holiday, or what are we doing?
It would be, and the birthday leave would transition to a floating holiday and then an addition of an extra holiday.
It'd have to be.
Yeah, but do you want to name that holiday or is that floating?
I guess.
2 floating holidays is better than you can take whatever.
I think Juneteenth, because we're working on our Wayne's crew on Juneteenth.
Also a federal.
Yeah, I love Juneteenth, but I'd like to make it a floating holiday. Maybe we could name it Juneteenth, a floating holiday.
Or should we do one floating holiday per, first 6 months of the year? Maybe the other one the second?
So your
designate's
discretion.
We have to keep record though.
But that's like.
Yeah, let's make it simple. One a year, Justin. He's right. Let's make it simple. Just
If,
What's the other holiday you propose?
I mean, the ones
Two
that were
floating days, two floating
two
holidays.
floating holidays.
That's what Justin said.
Okay, I mean, you wanna nail one down though,
You could make it June the 29th.
which is what?
My
That's my
anniversary. That's my anniversary.
Make it all celebrate.
Either, was it New Year's or?
The proposed was on for Monday was President's Day, Juneteenth, or New Year's Eve. Those were just the proposed. I mean, but there is other holidays.
I mean, President's Day would probably be,
That one I proposed just because there's a lag in holidays.
No other holiday in that month?
No.
March either, and you could do a Texas Independence Day.
Yeah.
Cause that's a state
It
holiday.
is. And there's other cities that have that as a holiday.
The state has it.
that would, that would work great. It's hard to staff around holidays because nobody wants to work when you've got an event going on for a holiday. Nobody wants to work that because they don't get their overtime.
78.
These guys depend on the overtime when they're volunteering to work events.
big event for Juneteenth. We don't do an event for President's Day. We do events for Juneteenth.
They want to say the event time so they get more.
Be
2
better
weeks
for.
before July 4th. They're saying President's Day is better because there's January 1st and Easter. There's a long stretch.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, but what Wayne said, it makes sense to me. He has a big Juneteenth event and I understand his own faith.
It's frustrating for the guys. It's not really fair for them because, if it's a holiday and, I ask them to come and work during the holidays, so they're getting paid straight time because they're not making their 40 before they work the holiday.
I see.
But I guess there's no incentive for them to want to work the event.
A lot of these guys depend on the overtime.
So like Texas Independence.
So we had Juneteenth.
That's not a working holiday. Yeah.
So that would be the best
That'd
for
be a
your
good one.
department, wouldn't it?
You guys agree with that?
Say one more time.
Texas Independence Day, what's that, March?
See, because
It's March.
March 2nd.
don't your department work anytime anyway? I mean, during holidays?
Correct.
Huh?
That department works 24/7.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay, so it doesn't matter?
Either-
So you don't need a holiday?
That would still be an incentive for them.
Get extra pay. That's why.
So you didn't need a holiday, they don't take it.
We get pay them.
What did you say, Chief?
I like the two floating, one per 6 months.
That's what I like. I mean, that's what I got at work. So, I mean, it always works out well for me.
Yeah, I think floating holidays are dangerous for the utility department though.
How's that?
Well, then I think it gives them an option to just take a day off whenever they feel like it, I guess. And then what if they decide to take two at the same time? So back to back.
Could you?
I guess you would have to write the language in the policy, but then that kind of,
When the guys take
I
vacation
mean, I
now,
don't know.
Wayne, do they have to do it 2 weeks in advance?
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be the same.
I'm whatever the employees want.
If I have a notice of absence with the day they want off.
Can we leave that to be determined?
I mean, I guess
Additional day and then,
Agree with that.
I could do maybe like an employee poll to see what other employees kind of want.
is that,
Bring it back to.
does that?
Well, you just gotta keep in mind, keeping on something like that, when you start.
And that's
Up there.
I'm at. It
It's a
doesn't,
problem.
any of us department heads, it doesn't affect us either. I mean,
Can we modify the
If you're
motion
your
to say
guide,
to
you know
authorize an
your
additional
yeah.
vacation day, holiday to be, actual date to be determined by staff?
That's your motion?
Designate it to Jody to come up with a final.
Yeah, for the city manager to work up a final.
I can't.
Well, that's it's his
Can I
motion.
modify that motion to,
No.
Really took Jim's motion over. So who wants to make?
to modify it to, by taking a survey of employees and see what day would work best for them.
Authorize an additional holiday and city
Yeah.
manager to determine what day it is.
Right.
Okay.
Approve staff recommendations except to add one holiday.
No, that's to be determined. It may be floating, but that's not.
To be determined by doing an employee survey or city managers.
Say to be determined. Won't add that extra language.
Yes.
But
Be determined.
determined by city manager.
Yeah, and that's.
Let them figure it out. They'll probably have to come back to us for the policy revision, but that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Made the motion, Wayne?
Wayne.
Wayne.
Alan Wayne.
Oh, I get-
Alan Wayne.
Well, I am
Alan Wayne.
Wayne, Alan Wayne.
Wayne Allen.
Wayne Allen.
I made the motion. Who wants to second it?
I will.
Please.
You're so funny. You make it entertaining.
Man, early.
Yeah. That's what wore me down. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Approving the staff recommendations for the HR and workplace policies, with an additional holiday to be determined by. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed, same sign. And none opposed, motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Thank y'all.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
It's extra pay, isn't it? It's not a holiday. Not for you. All right, consider agenda item number 10, consider second and final reading of an ordinance G-6-24 of the city of Port Lavaca, amending code of ordinances to chapter 12. Buildings and building. 12 to 287 definition. Unfit condition declared. Minimum standards for use and occupancy. Subsection D, subsection 11. Effective.
Okay,
Second.
all right, that's good. All good. No, I was just gonna point out that all we're doing is pulling non-residential it applies to all structures.
Just in property maintenance code, that's different than the building code?
It is part of the 15 volume set.
So it was, so non-residential structures, so
Fall into it now.
it's
It does,
all existing, no, residential structures fall into it now.
right. Where it didn't before. So for rental property, it applies. Residential structures. So this is the property, and it's not just the property maintenance code for rental property, it's for all property.
That's all property.
It's where you have to maintain your property.
Okay. You got a motion? Approving second and final reading.
First reading. I'm okay.
It's the first reading.
Long time ago, we had this one.
It was on June 10th was the first reading.
It's June.
We have a motion and second approving the second and final reading of ordinance G-6-24 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Opposed, motion passes.
I remember, if I remember correctly, Derek said they're very, very minimum standards, and I think that's what the beginning of is back up.
Brings them into.
Jim and Alan.
Yes.
Jim just wants to get home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get rid of the column here. Agenda item number 11. Consider first reading of an ordinance G-7-24, the city of Port Lavaca amending the basic traffic control devices ordinance G-6-86, section 3 by adding stop signs in Lynn Haven subdivision. Appeal clause and providing effective. Collins?
So moved. We've already talked about it, putting all those stop signs over in my subdivision on each one of the off streets. And so because it had yield signs and people are not they're not yielding, and so they're just putting stop signs all over.
Has there been some wrecks or something?
Not necessarily a whole lot of wrecks in the area, it's just trying to slow traffic.
Trying to slow people down on Houston Street. Haven't
Used the area as a drag strip.
Well,
Has it helped?
Well, they haven't done it yet.
Colin approves it.
Yeah.
And then we approve Colin.
What would this?
Sign this.
I'll let you speak now.
Oh, there is.
Mayor Council, so at one time there was I'm actually just reverting it back to what it used to be. And that was all stop signs. So for somewhere down the line, somebody thought it was a good idea to replace all stop signs with yield signs. Basically, we're just kind of switching that back and adding a few more stop signs in like your straightaways, like on Travis Street, like on Houston Street, to slow traffic in that area.
Travis, Bonham, Houston, Massanet are all speedways. And they just fly down to them, but you've got that cross street. They're just flying on, you know, so I think it may help. Because I get complaints from people, especially on Travis. They're going too fast and it's at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, there's kids out there, right?
And they're doing 45 or 50. Kind of like what.
That's a shortcut. No. I'm kidding.
On Houston Street, they're really flying down through there. There's a curve.
Well, how about Calhoun?
Not right
So
now.
I was gonna say, yield signs when they go back 5 years or.
This price I got, right?
And I don't understand whose idea that was. I think it was the chief at the time. He thought it was, as far as his idea was that you couldn't.
Well, I'm sure somebody complained and said, we don't need them. There's no traffic and you complain enough and somebody does something.
Well, my understanding, it was to, on how to determine a fault in a wreck. And it's basically saying that you can prove yield, but you can't prove stop. So that's what I've heard as part of my research on it.
The yield signs will be destroyed maliciously.
Have a motion and a second approving reading. We get this again. Ordinance G-7-24 as presented. Favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We're almost there. Consider recommendation of the select committee to select a consultant to prepare master parks plan and to authorize city manager to negotiate a professional services contract. Make a motion. Yes.
I make a motion.
You make a motion. Second. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, approving the recommendation of the select committee.
Who's on the committee? Which one?
Alan and.
LJA.
If. I need to approve LJA.
Okay, here we go.
I'd have to go back to my.
Now?
Prove it so
wow.
Okay, so
get the grant.
Okay, so
no, we're not eating cheese. On the selection committee was Max Sistrunk, Greg Falcon, Dina Smith, Bill Reagan, and myself.
Yeah.
And we actually met as a group and reviewed all of the yeah, my brain went blank.
Qualifications.
Yeah, the RFQs. And we scored them LJA at 89, Kendig Keast at 88.6, and Vista at 73.8. So we chose LJA and they prepared last year's city waterfront downtown master plan. And we think that they'll do well on this project as well.
So the motion is to approve LJA recommendation of the.
Yeah, we recommend selecting LJA Planning and Architecture and authorizing Ms. Jody Weaver to negotiate a contract.
Committee.
Approves LJA planning and architect as a consultant.
Okay, just approve LJA.
Plan. And authorize the city manager to negotiate
a professional services contract.
and bring it back to council for final approval.
You have a motion, somebody?
So motion. Second.
So we have a motion and a second.
Actually, we already had a motion and a
I thought we
second.
did, but then they changed the motion.
Jim and Daniel.
Yes.
Second. So I just needed to vote.
Clarify, you clarify.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Was it?
And two.
Okay, now all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Here, none opposed, motion passes.
As an additional note to that, in order to qualify for any large parks and wildlife grants, we have to have this parks plan in place.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 13, consider professional engineering service agreement with Civil Fund on the Smith Road Sidewalk and Bike Lane Project. Move. Second. That was pretty straightforward. We have a motion and a second to approve civil court Smith Road Sidewalk and Bike Lane Project. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All same sign. None opposed, motion passes. I will move to agenda item number 14, consider interlocal agreement between the city of Port Lavaca and the Texas Municipal League for cyber liability coverage and data breach response.
So moved.
Have to make a choice. There's two choices.
Yeah.
Mayor Council, essentially effective September 30th, 2024, the email risk requiring all risk pool participants to opt in for continued cyber liability coverage by completing a cyber liability data breach response local agreement. This cyber fund is essentially going to ensure that the city's protection against any cyber threats. As I just recently had a meeting with our team of risk pool, and as of right now, we're at tier 2. I recommend that we approve this interlocal agreement to
At the higher level.
yes, continue to be covered with cyber coverage.
So moved.
The difference in cost is $250 between the lower and the higher.
You know, after what we had with
Yeah.
that problem before, we don't want to go through.
And what's interesting, I find, is that this is the same cost that Point Comfort's having to pay.
Same cost.
Same cost as Point Comfort.
Interesting.
Exactly the same price. It's not dependent on the size of your data.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second approving the interlocal agreement.
I didn't, I will. Okay. Now I do.
Yeah. Precinct.
Okay, now.
What was the choice?
1,000 or 1,250.
Okay, so we need to say that.
Oh, yeah. We need the 1250. Right, that's the cost, 1250.
So. We have a motion and a second approving the interlocal agreement between the city of Port Lavaca, Texas Municipal League for cyber liability coverage and data breach response, opting for the 1250 coverage. As presented, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion passes. Here we move to agenda item number 15, consider reading of an ordinance G-8-24, the city of Port Lavaca, amending the code of ordinances appendix A fees rates and change CBRA fees and providing effective date. Brittany?
Mayor and council, this is a amendment to our fee ordinance, just increasing our GBRA raw water fee from $11 to $13.65 a month.
That's blanket for all size users.
Yes.
So wasn't she?
It's all on this.
Start, say, want to.
I think that was her proposal to do for later, to do a kind of a tiered situation with residential and commercial, but I think we decided going forward to just do it uniform.
And I discussed some of this with Jody. Part of it is we actually need to do our rate study before we try a tiered approach to anything. Otherwise, we're hurting ourselves.
Part of the other discussion was not doing the tiered, but increasing the other fees a little bit because we were not sure we were making budget, but that was a longer discussion. So I guess that'll happen next week.
I think we'll discuss that on Monday.
So,
On Monday?
yeah.
So.
move.
Second, that one. Motion and second approving the first reading of ordinance C-8-24, city of Port Lavaca amending code. Is appendix A fees, rates, changes to CBRA fees and providing an effective date as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those same sign. Opposed, motion passes. Before we leave, everybody, this is the menu for next week. You go through and circle what you want. And then I have Alan's in mind. So you're responsible, you turn them to you. Give them to me and I will give them to Andy. Okay. I'll give them to you. I know. He's crazy that way. Make sure you mark it though.
I will not be there.
So do you have yours?
I haven't marked on it yet, but I will. Okay.
So. All right, well, Jim, thanks. This meeting's short tonight.
Can we make a motion to adjourn?
You have your.
There we go.
Motion, I second it, John, all in favor, say aye.
Thank you, sir.
You get it finished?
Any opposed?
Yes.
Okay.
None opposed, motion passing.
I only heard one.
Okay.
Hey, that's all right. Pitch sticks or something.